welcome to everyone to the most exciting destination in the world. That's been our hashtag, and at the beginning people thought, is this really possible? And of course, because we've taken this around the world to speak about Bosnia and Herzegovina, but this session is about more than Bosnia and Herzegovina. It's about the Western Balkan, and that's, I would say, also the real most exciting destination in the world. Do you agree? We heard from David, as an economist. He has to tell you, be careful. Lots of times says cautious, cautious. UNWTO is a bit more bullish, talking about the growth. But let's look at the power of tourism. 1/3 of global exports and services comes from travel and tourism. More than 10%, 11% of global GDP in travel and tourism. 12% of global employment is supported by travel and tourism. So tourism is critical for economic growth, for prosperity of countries, for tax capture and revenue to nations. Now, when you look at the design of tourism development, we saw the video that shows, only because of limited time, the complexity or the diversity of the USAID tourism activity here, and the many different facets that this does, that it tackles in terms of developing the many different aspects of the sector: finance, looking at investment, looking at sustainability and planning. And the question is, why? Why do we do all of this? Why is USAID investing in tourism so much, and why are all these fine panelists driving tourism growth? Let me show you my slide. I have a single slide, by the way, to show you. That's my presentation. This is Sava. I met Sava in October 2020, in the height of COVID. And tourism is about people like Sava. Sava captures your heart. She's in a small town 3 hours from here. It's a small village called Šipovo. They have probably some of the best fly fishing river in all of Europe. But Sava, with her smile, hosting you with her food, captures your heart, but at the same time is the key draw for why people go to that area, and why people go to her village and to her home. Sava has been the ambassador for Bosnia and Herzegovina around the world. I took her story to Spain, to Portugal, to London, to Germany, to tell them that you come to Bosnia and Herzegovina because Bosnia and Herzegovina melts your heart, and whatever photos you see, you have to experience it. And that is the same thing with the Western Balkan destinations, because each country has something special, but most important, it's the personal touch and the experience that you receive there. But at the end of the day, the reason why tourism is so important is because it improves people's lives like Sava. And doing tourism properly means we go to people like her and we say, we do not want you to change a bit. Just be yourself, smile, do what you're good at, tell your story, share your food, and that brings benefits to the destination, and that allows people. She would not have any other economic benefits. So I would like to give a salute to Sava, to the thousands of Savas, and she wanted to be with us. She couldn't, but her son left her taking care of the cottage, and he's with us. Pedja, you're with us here. Let's give him a salute, please. There he is right there. Thank you, Pedja. Thank you. And please give our salute to your very lovely mother. I have a selfie with her too, by the way. Let me run back to the very end and begin engaging our fine group over here, because we have a lot. This is a really exciting destination. We saw the figures from both WTO and from Oxford Economics. And then we look at what the World Travel and Tourism Council is producing, and we have them in the room, and the European Tourism Commission. And while we heard that 89% globally, tourism is back pre-pandemic, every single country here has beat the 2019 figure. And here on this stage, we have the hottest destination in the world, Serbia. It is growing faster than any other destination. It has grown faster than any other destination last year. What is the secret?
Well, we must be doing something right.
Absolutely.
Good day, everybody. It's my pleasure to be here today with you, and thank you for the opportunity to have this conversation and to again see all the colleagues. I want to thank them all for being here, and it's my pleasure because we all do cooperate in one way or another, so it's always a pleasure having this opportunity for cooperation because it gives the great results to all of us. As you have mentioned, last year Serbia had the record tourism year, and as the UN tourism confirmed, we had the strongest growth of the revenue from international travelers who came to Serbia, and it came as a result of years of investments in Serbian tourism and in Serbia in general. We have made a great improvement in our general infrastructure, the transportational infrastructure, but also into the tourism infrastructure. We have almost all international brand hotels in Serbia, and we also invested a lot through our ministry to the additional tourism infrastructure that is giving that additional value to every destination. And in that sense, tourists recognize that, of course. Also, the great strategy that we had and still have is the connectivity, because right now our national carrier is connecting us with 90 destinations worldwide, and also we have now the long-haul flights as well, so we are connected with United States of America with 2 flights, New York and Chicago, and we are expecting to be connected with Miami as well, and we are directly connected with China, with Tianjin with our national air carrier, and also with Hainan Airlines between Belgrade and Beijing. And now I can say as well that from October and November we will be directly connected with Shanghai and Guangzhou.
Oh, wonderful.
So these are like great advantages for us in the region because we became the hotspot, you know, the entering gate to all those who are coming to Serbia from the long haul as well. And when we add upon that the great bilateral connections that we have with China, but with also the other countries as well, those are all the great results. But not to be misled, when we talk about the results, it's not that all the results that we have are coming from the long-haul markets and from the Chinese market, because, for example, from the European Union, Germany is the strongest present market in Serbia, and also what is also very important, the region. All of us here are the best tourists one to another, according to the number of arrivals and overnight stays. So in that sense, from one side we are hosts one to another, and on the other side we are, let's say, cooperating together for the long-haul market. So I would not say that we are competition one to another. I would rather say that we are adding values to the travelers who are coming to our region as the region.
Well, that's a wonderful end to your comment, because now you can kind of concluded with what I was hoping that this session will conclude with, but because there is a great deal of complementarity, of course. If we look at the economic contribution of tourism to the economies of these countries here on stage, we have the most tourism-dependent country, Montenegro, with us here. We're about 30%, 29.5% of your GDP comes from travel and tourism. And the topic of today is resilience, and we also need to think about growth. Is there more room for growth? What do you think?
Yes.
Thank you, Ibrahim. Thank you very much for your invitation to represent Montenegro here on this great summit. Also, dear guest, I'm so happy to see you again on this summit. Yes, you're right. We are the most dependent country, the most dependent on tourism industry in the region. And when you are talking about resilience, we had a strong challenge with the war in Ukraine. Because it happened at the beginning of the new season that year, and we really were dependent also from the travelers from Russia to Montenegro. So we had a very short time period to find new market for Montenegro and to overcome this challenge. And we succeeded. 2022 was a very good year for Montenegro, but also we are growing every year. 2023 was also very successful for us. And 2023 was a year that was even better than 2019. For growth, yes, there is also great opportunity for growth that will come with new great investments, especially in the northern part of the Montenegro. Let's say just in one small mountain center in Kolašin that counts just 10,000 citizens. We have 5 4-star and 5-star hotels opening in next 2 years. That will also brought a strong growth to our GDP, but also there is announced new projects for $500 million investment in next 10 years.
Is local investment or foreign investment?
Foreign investment. Foreign investment tourism project in the southern part of Montenegro that it also boosts the growth, not just by the investment itself, but also we are witnessing that big and large foreign investment in the coastal part of Montenegro are driving growth, not just by themselves, but also by the growth of the community and other offers and other experiences. So yes, there is a lot of space, and we are expecting this growth to be much more significant in next 5 years.
Oh, fantastic. Croatia's economy is 25% derived from travel and tourism. What is your plan for the future? And first of all, are you happy with the performance? Are you getting what you want in terms of yield to the country?
Yes. Thank you for the question, and I'm happy to be here in Sarajevo. Croatia had last year 2.7 million arrivals and 107 million overnights. And
2.7 million arrivals?
107 million overnights and 20.7 million arrivals. 20 million. So 20 million guests arrived, and I'm happy. I was happy to see the gentleman from Oxford that outlook for 2026 for Croatia was also bright. But in Croatia, our 2 ministers ago, Nikolina Brnjac and before Gari Capelli, we says that we have to stop just counting the numbers, the arrivals, although we have e-visitor system, which I, on email every morning at 7 o'clock, I get a daily report how many visitors arrived last night. And I really tested. I was director in Czech Republic. I had in Motovun, one small village, of Czech TV crew, 3, and next morning was in Motovun, Czech's arrival free. I said, yeah, that's for you, because they registered them. So system is really up to date, but we said we have to stop counting the tourists, but we have to calculating the revenue. And so we are focusing from mass tourism to the quality tourism, to give adventure, to give something new, and of course with the people who are ready to pay more, because our tourist offer hotels has changed tremendously in the last 10-20 years. It was interesting that in Croatia we have and actually that's a bottleneck that we have for 365-year tourism, because our minister says don't talk about tourism season. We have to talk about tourism year, because we want to tourism 365 days, and the problem is that only 50% of the capacities are in hotels, 60% it's private accommodation, so-called apartments, and 25% it's camp. So every 4th guest is coming to camping, But it's also developing. So we would like to have people more, we need more hotels which will work all over the year, and of course offer different adventures. Maybe if I can just add one more sentence, not to be too long, because when we are here in Sarajevo in Bosnia and Herzegovina and we are on USAID project, I was checking yesterday the data, you know, for last year, on all last year, and then we can say maybe it's like a fun fact, you know, the United States are better in some things, Bosnia is better in some, but in one thing, Bosnia is better than United States. This is the rank list of overnights in Croatia last year. So Bosnia and Herzegovina took place number 11, 2.7 million overnights, and while United States place number 12, 2 million. So there it's a battle between Bosnia and United States who will have more, while from the United States we had 710 arrivals, and from Bosnia 550,000, because Americans, they stay only 2.8 days, while Bosnians really enjoy the pleasure in enjoying Croatia, they stay 5.5 days. So, and to conclude, my friend from LA just called me yesterday and sent me the pictures from new Croatian ambassador, Natalie Reyes. She was last week in LA in the Croatian embassy for the Croatian Independence Day, and she said that she will work hard that this close to 800,000 American tourists will reach 1 million in the next few years. So, so we also have from the American, I would say, State Department support to bring more Americans in Croatia.
I will come back to this theme in a bit when we speak about long-haul markets, because that's important. And Marija a bit touched on this, especially with the Air Serbia fleet expansion and the route expansion and that sort of thing. Now, I think the Macedonian view would be interesting, because when we spoke, you focused a great deal on ESG and sustainability and its intersection with tourism, and that you want to do tourism right. I mean, one of the benefits that this region is relatively kind of new on the tourism scene to some extent relative to other destinations is that you're beginning from a point where you can do things right, as opposed to having to correct moving forward. The World Travel and Tourism Council is with us today, and they produced a study recently that says 15 countries only in the world grew their GDP while reducing their carbon emission in the process. A single country of those happen to be in the Western Balkans, Slovenia. Slovenia is not on stage, but they will be, because they will speak about data and otherwise later on. But how important is sustainability influencing your tourism development? And does it impact the products, the experiences that you're offering on the market?
First of all, thank you for your invitation. It's a great pleasure being here and sharing time with you. North Macedonia in the past few years has a constantly increasing number and growth of foreign tourists and overnights, but tourism growth doesn't mean development of tourism. Tourism development should be our future focus, our priority, and a strategic determination for every future government in our country, especially in the direction of development of sustainable destinations, sustainable tourism products, development of local and regional tourism brands, and promotion of responsible travel. Also for us, it's very important to develop the alternative forms of tourism, especially because it have increasing trend in the tourism industry and are especially important for our country, because Macedonian tourism offer is a combination of rural tourism, cultural tourism, eno-gastro tourism, adventure tourism, and the Macedonian tourism products are made up of mix of rich cultural and natural heritage. But unfortunately, our focus in the past few years was not on the development of tourism and promotion and development of tourism and implementation of sustainable practices and policies in tourism sector. So we are facing with a lots of challenges. In the future, we should be focused, and first it's crucial for us to create the national strategy for development of tourism. Also, it's very important to improve the infrastructure investments, especially into the rural parts of our country, which would be the strong base for the further development. Also, to provide financial incentives and support for the local population, to support and to encourage them to invest in their small family businesses and actively to be involved in tourism and economic development of local communities. For us, it's also very important to work on a development on a community-based tourism, because community-based tourism in the past few years has become a very important part of the sustainable tourism development to improve the welfare and empowerment of the local communities. And it's especially important for us because North Macedonia is a small country in the heart of Balkans with a unique and authentic tourism offer that maintain the local values and local products for development, economic and tourism. And it's for us, it's very important because on that way we will improve the economic growth of the local communities, will increase the welfare and the life quality of the local population, and we will create conditions for them to provide a sustainable long-term incomes and for them and for the next generation. So sustainable tourism is our future and our step forward in the development of tourism, because taking actions to prevent the environment never been so critical, and sustainable tourism development will help us to create a balance between the economic growth and the mass tourism on the one side, and protection and prevention of environment, biodiversity, and cultural heritage on the other.
Wonderful. You're kind of continuing a theme from Dubravko here when he says, let's look at revenue as opposed to numbers. Because you cannot do sustainable tourism and safeguard your assets by pushing numbers. But if we can increase the yield by reducing the number of people, so you or like a boutique destination as opposed to a supermarket. That's not based on volume, but it's based on yield. Is Albania going into that direction? I know, Erton, your organization is responsible for both marketing and product development. And you've been focused yourself also on projects. If we look at Albania's performance, you had over 10 million visitors last year. That's about 3 times your population. And your average length of stay is 1.7 nights. Now, what are you doing to diversify your market? The bulk of tourists, I assume, is coming to the beach side, correct? How do you increase the yield to the destination? How does it become more profitable, yet at the same time develop it in a sustainable manner?
Actually, when they come, we are leaving. I'm joking, but yeah, that's true. That's true that I mean the number of tourists is increasing, but that is only the number. On the other side, we, as was correctly said here, it's important that we as well count the revenues, which is very important. And now we have sea, we have mountains, we have Alps, which are kind of the classical tourism that has been developed during these years. But what we are looking at to develop further is like using our strengths, which is cultural heritage and hospitality, which are 2 very strong points. I mean, not only in Albania, I mean, it is a feature of the region, you know, but we need to go to that direction just to increase not only the number of tourists, because they are coming a lot, but they are coming mainly on the high season, which is like the warm months. But what we need to do is to distribute this number and increase numbers throughout the year. That is the most important direction to go. Of course, as I said, the cultural heritage is one of the best strategies to go, actually, which supports, in one side, you know, you use your assets, what you have, but on the other side, you contribute as well to the sustainability of the country as in its entirety. So basically, we have a rich story, we have rich traditions, which we are looking to sort of package them within touristic offers, and to try to disseminate these packages and make them known throughout not only Europe, but now looking beyond Europe to America, to Asia as well, and to attract more people. Now, the road is difficult. There are different ways to go when you promote, when you do things, when you propose new ideas. Of course, you need more money, you need to invest more on that, so it's a balance that you should take into consideration. And one way to do that is, of course, the state is like budgets are increasing and contributing to those investments and to those new ideas, but as well, we should see as well the European contribution, which is a good source for raising money through different projects that are supported through the different project support schemes provided by European Union. And I think that this is something that all countries in the region are using as a strategy as well to increase their availability of funds in doing projects. But as well, I think it's a good approach even to foster collaboration between countries, especially in terms of neighboring countries, and you have these projects that go cross borders, projects to develop ideas and to promote touristic packages.
Fantastic. Let's say on the project theme and product development, Faruk, you're representing the Tourism Board of Canton, Sarajevo. Canton, Sarajevo pulls in probably about half of all visitors coming into the country, and you're the gateway. And by de facto, essentially, you're acting as the country's promotion agency because there isn't a state-level tourist board. There is a strategy, however, adopted by both entities. The video, because it was covered last year, activities spoke about the federation strategy. Republika Srpska also has its own strategy that we were happy to support, and they were very quick in adopting it. But what sort of projects can we maybe, because we heard from Erton that the need for government investment and public agencies investment in product development. What are you doing in terms of specific products? What can you give us some examples that you're seeing are catching the attention of the visitors and yielding results?
Okay, well, first of all, as a person who is a representative of the board of Sarajevo, where we are now, I want to express my gratitude and a big welcome to all of you who came to Sarajevo. I'm so happy to see you all here. Dear Sandra Carvalho is finally here in Sarajevo. I'm so happy to see you here. Welcome. The weather is nice, so I'm sure you'll have some time to enjoy the city out of these 2 days after this wonderful summit that brought so many important people finally here in Sarajevo. And USA, thank you for this organization. There are Bosnia and Herzegovina. I will talk about the Bosnia and Herzegovina even if I'm from Sarajevo, because unfortunately we don't have a ministry on a state level. We are like full of obstacles, but we are doing as we don't have it. Thanks to USAID, you helped us a lot in a previous period in promotion. We opened some new markets, we visited new countries, present ourselves and so on. And yeah, everybody helped a little bit, and I can say that we did a lot lately, in the last couple of years, to promote Bosnia and Herzegovina, okay, Sarajevo and Bosnia and Herzegovina, which is really beautiful, is unique country. All these countries here that here on the stage are beautiful, small countries. In respect of our main competitor, USA, we are a small country. Our main competitor in the world, USA, is bigger. But okay, we are trying hard to do the best, and we succeed, obviously. Promotion of Bosnia and Herzegovina is very important, because I'm always saying, when I'm in Toscana in Italy, I see Bosnia, definitely. I see all those hills and greenery and the lakes and the water and everything. But we don't have Italy, and we don't have such a big promotion. We don't have that kind of history that Italy has and Toscana has. But easily, I think we can do much more in promotion and to show the world, to present the world that the Sarajevo and Bosnia and Herzegovina as a country that is really worth visiting. Visiting Bosnia and Herzegovina, obviously, long and short-haul tourists will visit other countries again. But probably we'll talk about it later, about this connections between countries. A lot of things has to be done in Bosnia, a lot of investments has to be done in Bosnia, infrastructure, strategy that we have, but I think it can be better, definitely. We can work on those strategies. For example, I've worked for 6 years as a representative of Montenegro National Tourism Organization here in Bosnia. I hope you know that. In 2008, I think, you made a strategy till 2020. It was a brilliant strategy, and you did a great job with that forced strategy, and you are continuing to do that. I think that we need such a big quality strategy for Bosnia and Herzegovina, and I'm sure USAID also will help us to achieve that goal. And it will be everything much better, I hope, in next years. We are going up, definitely, all of us here.
Very interesting. So the World Economic Forum produces every 2 years the Travel and Tourism Development Index. It used to be called the Tourism Competitiveness Index. It still does the same thing, but they just changed the name. So we're looking at industry competitiveness. Montenegro ranks 3.9 out of 5. Albania and Serbia are at 3.8. North Macedonia, I believe, is similar. Bosnia and Herzegovina is 3.4. Croatia is 4.2. So they're doing great on that front. But still, Croatia has just adopted a new tourism strategy for multi-years. And it's pretty detailed, I understand, like 600 pages. Your summary alone is 100 pages. Well, where do you hope to go in the coming 5 years with your new strategy? Like, what is the vision? Are you reorienting the sector? One of the areas we spoke about, by the way, this was a fascinating discussion we had pre-event, because Dubravko focused on all the challenges when everybody else talks about all the great things that are happening. But when you focus on challenges, that means you're identifying investment opportunities. You know, where can we invest? Where can we do something better? And we have here in the room, we have investors, we have financiers, we have some global tour operators from the source markets. I think it would be fascinating for all of them to understand the opportunities that you hope to achieve and how they can be part of this solution. What can you tell us about your direction in the coming few years?
Thank you. Yes, we adopted the new tourism strategy and also sustainability, because now this managing in some destination like Dubrovnik or Split, where you have some so-called over-tourism, or I spoke yesterday with the director of Tourist Board of Mostar, that, and they told me in the last days you cannot even get close to Mostar Bridge, you know, it's a jam. So we have a national Plitvice lakes, you know, which also it's a problem, you know, and they then in the periods or areas where you have high demand, you must regulate. For example, National Park of Plitvice Lakes, you must buy ticket in advance, like, you know, London, I have London, you know, you can just come there and say, okay, I want to enter, you know. So I think that in some destination in the region, or this will have to do regulation. Also, the local authorities will have to, because now the new law, which was adopted last year, put on the local mayors and county prefects, that they have to make inventory of the resources. That means you look example of Spain, in Balearic, what's going on, you know, and in city of Split or Dubrovnik, you have a city of hosts, you know, because the foreigners bought apartments and nobody lives there. They come there for two months, and that's we don't want. It's not sustainable on the long term. So our strategy is going in two directions. So that means regulating this, so that see what resources we have, how many water, electricity, whatever can accommodate the place. And now we start to think I think in Italy, in Tuscany, I don't know which city they said no more license for apartments, no more license for hotels. So we go in one direction where it's high demand in a period in the region in this regulating, but also we would like to, as Albania gentleman said, we want more tourists in pre and post main season. So but it's, you know, as I'm also operational, as Ibrahim said, you know, when I try to do something, you know, you have this example, you go, let's say, to Zadar, and then said, why a hotel are not working in January? And they said, oh, there's no flights, you know, we will work. You go to airliner, why are not flying to Zadar? Because the hotels are not working, you know. So you have this chicken egg and so what we do that we try to extend the season, so that we cooperation with airliners, so that they start to fly each year earlier and earlier. So let's say maybe before they start in May 1st, now let's start by Easter, etc. And the second, as our also tourism strategy, we have just adopted the new marketing strategy for next to 2027. So we will go in creating products, creating adventure, and also how to say reposition, because it's interesting that in Croatia, in the last few years, hotels with 4 and 5 stars, let's say in the main season or even out, has occupancy rate 90-95%, while hotel 2 or 3 stars was maybe 40-50%. So the owners of the hotels, that's for the investors. So definitely we need more investments in the hotel industry, and 4 or 5 star hotels which will accommodate and will work all over here. And also from the investment point, very how to say investment with a high and quicker rate of return was in camping. In camping, people, I know many friends, you know, they invest in camping sites, mobile house, they return investment in 4 years. So approximately, so very fast. In a hotel, it's longer period. And now it's also but also it's changing. You know, it's so. A long time ago, we have the classical, you know, tourists with the car, and there was a campsite. Then we start with the mobile house, some kind of. Then now glamping, luxury mobile house. And now I was just yesterday before with a friend who is now developing new project. And I think that Bosnia, it came to my idea when I saw this beautiful picture of the nature. He said, my new camp will be just the pure nature, the grass, tree. I will not build any minimum. I will just put the mobile house in this, and you have this in Plitvice Lakes, like mobile house in the woods, and they are the most expensive. One day costs between 500-700 day if you want to have a house on a tree on the Plitvice Lakes. So you see, and how much does it cost? So I think we are going in this creating adventure, specializing, and people who are ready to pay this adventure, so that get the same number of tourists, but who will spend double money. That's our in the period.
Fantastic. So you launched your tourism strategy, and Albania is writing one as we speak. Maybe very briefly, where do you hope to go with your strategy? How do you reorient the industry?
Well, the strategy is being written for the moment. It's under wide consultation among stakeholders. But what has been identified by the government as main, you know, priority territories are the Alps. It's the New South, we now call it New South, in terms of developing as well of infrastructure. We are looking to improve the infrastructure for airports. There's an airport, main airport in Tirana, another one in the north in the city of Kukus. But we are building actually 2 new airports in the south, which hopefully will improve connectivity between different cities. Now, there are these low-cost airlines. Wizz Air is flying in numerous destinations. I've come to know cities that I never knew that existed before, to provide these connections, but which create this new, you see, this new opportunities for people to come easier, to come with less, with lower prices to Albania, and to try then to experience the packages that we are offering. On the other side, developing marinas and port has been pointed out as one of the things that we need to reach in the medium term, because connectivity between through the sea is as well one important thing to pursue, and as well it assures more income to the budgets. What is as well important is that we are developing as well this focused tourism in culinary, but as well we are going strong with medical tourism, which is another, another branch of tourism that is being developed and is providing, a lot of numbers in terms of visitors and as well in revenues. So basically, this would be the main focus. In the same way, at the same time, develop infrastructure, big infrastructure, public infrastructure that will hopefully then contribute and support the developing of inner infrastructure in terms of roads and even accommodation facilities, 4 and 5 stars. We as well have this some facilitations for people that want to invest. For 4 and 5 stars hotels, we're providing 10-year void of for not paying the corporate income tax, which hopefully will bring more brand names and new hotels in Albania, increasing the number of beds that is very necessary with the increasing number of tourists.
Fantastic. One of the important people you need to speak to about name brands is we have the global vice president for the Radisson Hotel Group, and she's a panelist. Inga is with us here today, but I'm sure she would be interested in speaking to you. One of the areas you mentioned is Wizz Air and flights in general. About 2 weeks ago, 10 days ago, Croatian Airlines came out with an announcement saying our growth strategy is primarily regional and short haul. Serbian Airlines, on the other hand, is really going bullish, is going expanding into long haul. My question to you, Marija, is what is the intersection of strategy and vision between the tourism board and the airline? Because sometimes the airlines do their thing and not necessarily in line with the tourist board. Is there coordination there?
Well, I have to say that we have the great cooperation with our national air carrier, Air Serbia, and we support each other greatly, because we always plan in advance before the opening of some new market where Air Serbia will be flying. We prepared a promotional strategy for that market, so we do it as National Tourism Organization, but we also do it jointly with them. I have to say that they are our great partner in bringing the fam trips from all around the world, bringing tour operators and representatives of media, of influencers, of KOLs, which is of great support for us, because then we share costs of those activities, and it's very powerful when you have an airline that understands, and supports, because in that way we are able to do our job not only better in quality but in quantity as well, because we are restricted with budget. So if we are not cooperating, we would not be able to do as much work as we do, and yearly we bring around between 300 and 350 different journalists and tour operators to Serbia, to show them Serbia, to represent the programs of Serbia. And also what is very important in the days to come, and what we already have started, is the promotion of the greatest events that will happen in our country in the near future, and that is Expo 2027, which we are very proud which we are very proud to be hosts of such an important event, because not only the fact that around 100 countries already confirmed the presence during the expo and having practically being the center of the world for 3 months in 2027, but for the reputational purposes and for creating that brand of Serbia as a destination of organizing the big events. And what is also very important, because it coincides with the fact that our biggest event premise, the Sava Center, is fully refurbished. And even though we were managing to stay among top 50 countries regarding the organization of international conferences and congresses in Serbia, with Sava Center, who is also a very good partner of ours, even though it's a private investment, we are hoping to have additional increase in this in the MICE segment and in the bleisure, as we were mentioning, because it is growing as a trend worldwide. Right. And now we are using this opportunity, having a very liberal visa regime, which is also very important, because among countries in Europe, we are among those with the most liberal visa regime as the first prerequisite, very good connectivity, and now building this having Sava Center and the other premises for the events, having more of those luxury segment of the offer, because St. Regis will be opening in August this year with all those 5-star hotels, international brand hotels. You know, we are going towards what Dubravko was saying as well, going towards the more luxury segment of the travelers coming to Serbia. But on the other hand, having in mind that most of those are coming to Belgrade, so we are focusing to Serbia as a whole and having special subventions for the rural tourism as well, because we want to have more travelers, not only from Serbia, because Serbians are traveling through Serbia and going to the rural areas as well, and also our neighboring countries as well, coming all over Serbia. But we want those who are coming a long haul as well to experience that as our, because we were talking about strategy, we have our marketing strategy for 4 years now. Next year will be the year to have the new one, and it proved to us that we were right, because we started with that side of experience. We rebranded as Experience Serbia, and this is something that is, you know,
are you seeing
the
a change
fact
in
that
the profile
everybody is searching for.
You're seeing a change in the profile of visitor as a result?
Yes, and we think that it will change even more in these days, so this year and the next year.
The data we saw from David from Oxford Economics showed that the US market is quite dominant in terms of its future growth potential. And one of the interesting facts about the US market is that they stay long and they are the highest spender in any destination.
Yeah, that's true. I have to add, because in terms of numbers, they are like 12th regarding the overnight stays in Serbia, but they are among top 5 among spenders in Serbia.
Right. They spend money on everything. They love immersion. They love the rural areas, buying the souvenirs, the authentic souvenirs, not the manufactured ones. But that's a long-haul market, and marketing to long-haul destinations is quite expensive and difficult, especially for a market as large as the United States. Canada is next door. It has its own needs as a market in terms of communication and otherwise. And all the way on the other side, we also saw the bar chart on China, and that seems to be an opportunity, and they're coming back. They were number 5 here in Bosnia and Herzegovina pre-pandemic. And do you see opportunity for collaboration between the Western Balkan countries for long-haul markets? Perhaps you can do your own thing for short haul, but for long haul market, does it make sense to act as a group, to sell the region as a single destination, because long-haul markets, another characteristic, is they're looking for probably 3 to 4 different destinations. They like to see more than one country, especially the Chinese. And certainly on the American side, probably 2 to 3. What do you think?
Yes, you said it well. Unfortunately, marketing and promotion in long-haul destination is very expensive. And Montenegro used the membership in the ETC to promote Montenegro in USA, Japan, and China, and it helped us a lot. And also, we are the member of 17+1 initiative adopted by China. It helped us a lot to promote Montenegro in China. But also, unfortunately, our national carrier cannot support long-haul destination, but Serbia national carrier is a strong opportunity for Montenegro, especially for those markets who like to visit more destination during the holidays. So we are, let's say, leaning on the flights that is providing national carrier of Serbia, and it's really opportunity for us. And many tour operators from Montenegro are already planning their new destination just using the flights of national carrier of Serbia. And also, yes, there are many initiatives between Ministry of Montenegro and Ministry of Serbia to promote Serbia and Montenegro as one destination, but also jointly with Albania and jointly with Bosnia and Herzegovina. And I hope that we will make one offer like Visit Balkans or Experience Balkan soon. But also, I must say that one of the most important strategies of the government of Montenegro is leaning on 3 pillars, and that is connectivity, infrastructure, and also innovation and sustainability. We have built a lot of infrastructure that developed new center like Colashin, and also there is a Radisson in Colashin, now I can mention since you mentioned Radisson. And the highway develops so fast that region, and I hope we will connect soon with highway in Serbia. Also this year we are starting with a new ferry line, Budva-Dubrovnik, that will also unburden this infrastructure between Croatia and Montenegro that is very, very tense during the summertime. And that will also allow tourists, long-haul tourists that are coming to Dubrovnik. And Dubrovnik, I believe, is one of the most important centers for the long-haul tourists in Croatia, especially USA tourists. So we will catch some of the tourists from the Croatian side using this ferry. And I hope there will be a better connectivity with Croatia, maybe opening and enlarging the border passing Kobila. That will help us this connectivity too. And also we are building a bridge with Albania across the river Bojana that will make us more connected, and also we can share better long-haul tourists.
So you're saying that selling the region in long-haul markets as a unit that has sub-offers from the different countries makes sense?
Yes, yes, of course.
At ITV, Marija and Anna, and it was myself and the team, and the different tourist boards, we signed an MOU saying mystical Balkans, come to the region. And I wonder, is this something Albania would be interested in, joining the team, the mystical Balkans team, to look at long-haul markets?
No, we want them for ourselves. But actually, yes, I think it's a good perspective. I mean, in the long term, we should see to the benefits coming from cooperation, because as I said at the beginning, we need numbers, of course, but numbers then increase the pressure on the resources in one country. So basically, it will come a time that we will say, okay, now we don't need anymore. We need to distribute them to resend them back. But actually, this is something that should be done at the regional level. I mean, it can start small. It has already started, as was mentioned here, with initiatives and infrastructure investments in border areas. So cross-border areas are one of the main points that should be addressed through this approach. But then, of course, if we are talking about long-haul tourists, then we need to see what's happening with visa regimes. Right. Is it harmonized between countries, so if it's treated the same treatment for these countries from all the Balkan countries, then we should see as well how to coordinate activities then in these territories. I mean, it needs a lot of efforts. It's not just easy to do that, but I think that, yeah, that's a good thing to be pursued.
Very good. Faruk, you're a part of Mystical Balkans already. Where do you see, maybe if we pick like 2-3 markets, that's a discussion for everyone here. What do you think? Where would those be?
For years, I'm trying to convince or to talk to people around in countries around us to do something like that.
Now they're interested already.
Sorry?
They're interested.
Great. Everybody is always interested, and us too, but somehow that big step towards that we didn't do for
Into
these.
operation.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, okay, good. That one, but it's still like nothing. There is one, I'm always, when I talk about this, I'm always thinking about, there is one, I have to mention again, Italian song, when the sentence in the Italian song, it say, siamo angeli nati con un'ala, possiamo volare solo abbracciati. Vuol dire, it means we are angels born with one wing and we can fly only together, hugged. And I think this is the wonderful phrase, wonderful sentence for this region. Balkan is beautiful. And when one Chinese, Japanese, Taiwanese, whoever, coming to Europe, he doesn't come to Sarajevo, he doesn't come to Banja Luka, to Travnik, to Dubrovnik, maybe, Budva, Podgorica, Skopje, whatever. They are coming to Europe. And if we make this and make Balkan as something like Caribbean, new Caribbean in this part of Europe. I mean,
you want to give
the
it
name,
personality, you want to position it, branding.
It would be much catchable for everybody in the world. We can do that. So my suggestion is, we were talking about yesterday, we have to make some stronger body, just of a couple of people, one in each country, who will work on it, just to make that big step forward, to make something more for all of us.
Jasmina, what do you think?
Yeah.
Jasmina is delighted about my suggestion.
In the few sentences and words, first I would like to remind that in the past few years before the COVID-19 pandemic, in the 2019 and 17, we had a very successful cooperation with a national tourism organization from the Balkan countries. In the 2019, with Serbia and Montenegro, we were at the International Fair in Singapore, 2017 International Tourism Fair in Tokyo, where we together with Bosnia and Herzegovina and Albania as well, where we presented the tourism opportunities and the uniqueness of the Balkan region. So from these previous experiences, I can only conclude that we have lots of opportunities for a future successful cooperation, and by me that cooperation should focus on presentation and participation at the international tourism fairs in the countries of Far East and the US market as well. We can also organize and realize the farm trips for the tour operators and journalists from this country. Also, we can together work on a digital promotion. We can create unique Turizam Balkan brand and create a unique Turizam Balkan offer. Also for North Macedonia, because we are a small country, it's the cooperation between the Balkan countries. It's a great opportunity to increasing the number of foreign tourists and overnights, to improve the visibility and the attractiveness of the destination, also to improve the competitiveness between the demand and to attract the sustainable financing and investments in tourism sector. Also for us and for me, it's crucial also to exchange the experiences and positive practices for development of tourism and implementation of sustainable practices and policies in tourism sector. Also to share the ideas and improve the knowledges how to move forward with the sustainable tourism development, or how to accelerate the tourism into sustainability?
Fantastic. So we have 30 seconds to go. Dubravko, then I'm going to go to Marija, and I have a proposition for you at the end. Let's see if we can do that in 20 seconds. What do you think? You have a budget that's bigger than everybody on this stage.
As a sum of all of our budgets.
It's more than everybody. Honestly, I didn't want to say it, but you said it.
Quickly, in Croatia, of course, we are ready to share experience and support. For example, we have representation offices in China, in Shanghai, we have in New York and LA, and also in Korea, in Seoul. Sometimes, to be honest, you know, we are in tourism business. Sometimes you must be smart, you must work hard, but sometimes you must be lucky. I'll just give one example for the end. That, for example, suddenly 5-6 years ago, before COVID, we suddenly have a huge arrivals from South Korea, from Korea. And Korean Air start to fly after COVID. They cancel, now they start again. And how does it all huge demand started? It was some famous celebrity show, so let's get married. They come to Croatia and they will travel. And because of this show, we had a growth like 300-400%. And when I was flying often from Doha to Zagreb, it was airplane full of Koreans, you know. After this bubble, now it's during COVID decreased down, but now coming back. So sometimes you must be lucky, sometimes you must be smart, and then you have a success.
So if we leave with an actionable item that Faruk proposed.
Yeah, but we do with the
start with the show.
We do cooperation together with ETC, like Montenegro. We did it with Slovenia, so of course we open for cooperation.
Yes, please, Marija.
I just wanted to remind everybody, because maybe I'm present, let's say, for the longer time than others in this mutual cooperation, but we did have mutual cooperation, and we still do have the mutual cooperation in long-haul markets. Prior to the pandemic, we had a very successful mutual cooperation through JICA with Albania and Montenegro, and then it was about for North Macedonia and for Bosnia and Herzegovina to join us, but the pandemic stopped us. I will also remind you that through the European Travel Commission, we every year have together the projects on the long-haul markets with Montenegro. So even this year, we had it together. I mean, we just came from China, from the ITB China last week, where we were together present at the joint stand of European Travel Commission. And in that sense, even not only Montenegro, the Croatia was present as well from this table, I can say.
Fantastic.
So it's not impossible, as you mentioned, like, you know, we need some strong hand to join us.
So can we say we leave maybe this panel with an agreement that we're going to appoint person from each organization to begin a working group? And
that might be the way.
And look at also maybe the mystical Balkans as a uniting theme as for a multi-destination offer. You still do your own thing in your own short-haul markets and in the long-haul markets, but at the same time, we have a unique product that then people like G-Adventures, like Intrepid Travel, who are with us here, the TTC with 40 travel brands, can also have something new. It's a new product to promote. We are already over time. I want to thank you for this. We do have a video from Croatia, but we will do that after we all take a photo just to prove that we were here and to basically, I would say, maybe launch this new partnership over here. By the way, Yusuf Yamakosmanovic, who's sitting right there, already is reaching out to all of you to see if a USTOA, US Tour Operator Association convention at the end of the year makes sense, potentially to begin some collaboration among each other, and there will be other opportunities in the future. So thank you very much for this.
Thank you.